Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support. And of course, everyone's here on YouTube, your guys' support here in 2025.
We start things off from KOAT7 Action News. YouTube is letting some previously banned users return. That means you may see videos that violate old rules. Now, it's interesting as a content creator how often we encounter the things that we do, right? And we're always wondering why things are happening the way they're happening. But over time, as you guys know, these things do happen, and we have experienced them. And it isn't until years later, we're talking like 6-7 years later, that we're learning that all this activity that we talked about here, like on the BuzWeaver channel, or other creators talking about how their work and their content is being impacted or affected by political ideology, philosophy, and worldview of certain groups of people. And now, all these years later, we're now learning that these things are happening. Now, of course, I'm trying to keep it light here on a Friday, so a lot of these will just be headlines. And mostly what it is just the headlines. And as you can see here, as they say here on KOAT, that YouTube on Thursday will begin offering previously banned users the opportunity to create new accounts and potentially republish some videos that may have contributed to their termination but no longer violate YouTube's rules. So, as we have said here for quite some time, when the establishment uniparty gave the left the platforms to do what they wanted to do, as in a voice and being on media and being on social media, they hijacked our culture, hijacked our institutions, and hijacked our justice system. So now we're seeing it. And I just wanted to highlight some of these things for you. As you can see here from CNBC, YouTube will give banned creators a second chance after rule rollback. And this isn't unusual, because back in September, I meant to cover some of these things, but I was just trying to find a time and a place to bring these up. So I figured now, with all of this recent news, I could, kind of pile it all together, because this goes back to September the 23rd. Breaking: Google admits Biden admin pressured them to censor YouTubers, will reinstate banned accounts. Now, this is back in September, so it isn't until now, a few weeks later, that they are now unbanning these accounts and bringing people back. So we can see this from the post-millennial. And then we saw this during that same time back in the 23rd of September, where Rep. Jim Jordan, breaking: due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. And just like X that we're on right now, of course, you can find all my social media links below this video if you want to follow me there, that once Elon had taken over Twitter and changed it to X, but while it was still Twitter, he unbanned a lot of people as well. As a matter of fact, he unbanned Alex Jones and InfoWars, two particular individuals here, or Alex Jones and InfoWars, his business, were unbanned, among other individuals as well. So it's fascinating, is it not? Because we can see here, now we're going to go back 6 years ago, when Tim was talking about Google CEO openly admits to censorship and plans more. And we see here, Google CEO admits YouTube censors Timcast. And basically, he didn't say that specifically, like, we're banning Timcast, or that specifically. But I think his name is Sundar Pichai, I think is his name, for the CEO of Google. But these are things that we had talked about even here on the BuzWeaver channel. And speaking of which, also Instagram. And what's interesting is a lot of these titles of these articles have changed over time, because here on the BuzWeaver archives, we take very meticulous notes. We save most, if not all, of the content that I cover here. I know I've got mega amounts of, mega, literally, like megabytes of bookmarks. So you see here from the Washington Post, don't say vote, how Instagram hides your political post. So back in, I think it was March of 2024, or when was this? I'm trying to think of when it was. I think it was March of 2024. Maybe it may have been sooner than that. But I think it was March 2024. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said, okay, we're done with the politics nonsense on Instagram. We're not going to suggest it, and we're not going to recommend it. And I can remember that because for the entire year of 2024, starting when he said that back in March, I did not gain a single follower on Instagram. Zero. None. Nobody. Because most of what I covered there on Instagram was political commentary and political content. Now, I'm not saying that people on Instagram should have to follow that at all. No, not at all. Obviously, we all know what Instagram is about, a bunch of pictures and people just, traveling and doing this, that, and the other. And, basically self-aggrandizing would be probably the simplest way of putting it in those sorts of terms. But so back in March, I think it was of 2024, Zuckerberg said, no longer recommending, no longer suggesting anything political. He didn't want to deal with it. He was done with it. And so on Instagram, I had zero growth whatsoever. And I went back through the archives, speaking of which. I tried to find the Gizmodo article that specifically outlined how some whistleblowers from Gizmodo came out and said that they were instructed to intentionally and willfully block conservative content. Now, as you can see here, this link here is the original, I believe this was the original information that I had on Gizmodo, because I've got several articles and the way I titled them. But it wasn't until, let me see here, Facebook privately admitted failures in vetting the author of its anti-conservative audit. And, of course, this was just them trying to hide from the fact that someone, the whistleblowers were saying, hey, we were intentionally instructed to do this. And you can see here from back in 2021. Now, the issue of conservatives being blocked goes back as far as, I think it goes all the way back to like 2016. The article may go back that far. I was trying to find a date on here. I see, because this one says it's been edited, however, been changed on the 25th of, actually just as of this recording yesterday, which is amazing how these things change so quickly. But see, here's one from 2019, and then we have this from 2021. This is where the whistleblowers were on 60 Minutes admitting that this was happening. See, 9 horrifying facts from the Facebook whistleblowers' new 60-minute interview. And a lot of this also had to do with the fact that Zuckerberg was also getting pressure from the FBI. Now, I didn't pull up that information because I didn't want to go too deep into it, obviously. It is Friday, so I like to keep it light. But you can see that over these years, ladies and gentlemen, your guys' support of the BuzWeaver channel has been extraordinary. Because as you can see here, this seems to be a topic that's more inclined to the left, which is interesting. Because I guess they're trying to, it's almost like a defeat for them that they weren't able to do what they would have wanted to do, or particularly when it comes to COVID and those things that were happening back then. So I don't want to try to lump it all into one big thing, but I'm not surprised that the left is covering this far more, even though it says center 55%. But CNBC center, I mean, that's not true. But nonetheless, guys, I found this fascinating that now, so we're going to have users coming back to YouTube that were previously banned. And so the changes that we've seen here on YouTube as well, as I said here, the newest algorithm that they're using is a satisfaction algorithm. So, in other words, the amount of time you watch a particular video on someone's channel, or if you watch an additional video from a video you're originally watching, or you stay on that person's content and watch additional videos, that's considered one of their most top priority algorithms to look for satisfaction. And then from there, of course, you have likes, shares, and comments, which is why you might see a lot of creators saying, as I have done just on a side, to say even if you have nothing to really say about the video, be sure to use emojis or other items in the comment section. This was a project that a couple of creators were doing just for fun and stuff to engage the audience to participate on the channel, because these are all part of what they call the satisfaction algorithm that they've been using now for 3 years. But it mostly primarily centers around the amount of time you watch a particular video, and if you watch additional videos, and of course likes, shares, and comments, as I've always said, because of course that's just part of it. But nonetheless, guys, very fascinating, is it not, what we're learning all this time later, because the left always gets their knee-jerk reactions right off the bat, and it's so infuriating because it ends up changing later. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. That includes everyone on New Tech. That's Google, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, all these. But, of course, everyone here on YouTube. You guys have been amazing here in 2025. And that's what I had for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, as well as my affiliate marketing links. Of course, if you order frequently from Amazon or a Prime member, you can use my landing page link. Your privacy and, well, your privacy is protected there. And of course, identity. Your identity and privacy, is that what I want to say? It's protected. And speaking of being protected while you're online, my VPN that I like to use, Trust Zone, is down there as well. But of course, helping out the channel is as simple as hitting like and sharing and commenting, even if it's an emoji in the comment section. Now, you guys might be wondering, why is it that so many creators, or even I am always asking these things? Well, because the way the algorithm works nowadays, they have this satisfaction algorithm. It's kind of like trying to be like the most popular kid in school. I guess that's really kind of a generic way of saying it, but yeah, they want as much maximum engagement on your channel as possible, which I find fascinating. So it isn't so much about levels of content or amount of content that we put out, or diversifying the content, whether it's like a short and whether it's like a community post, which they just call posts now, in case you were wondering. But so I've been, experimenting with all those things. So if you guys were wondering why certain things change or go a certain way, and of course I'm working on the gaming channel as well, so it's been wild, and TikTok as well has been. And then some of these have been doing really well. It's been very interesting how all these things are starting to unfold. But I want to thank all you guys for the likes, the shares, and the comments. All these things help out. But of course, your participation here has just been amazing in 2025 for everyone across all tech, and of course here on YouTube. But I want to thank all you guys for your continued support, and appearing there on the screen, that'd be the channel icon for all of you watching on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as select notification, that where you know there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys behind the Galaxy phone camera next week.